I'm still stuck watching these videos. I'm probably just about done with it because I'm kind of tired of it, but it's good to review it. The whole narc slash codependent, which interestingly, and I hated that term always because it just always made it sound like, the codependent person is weak and depends on everybody for everything, which is completely the opposite of what's happening, actually, is that the narcissists are completely dependent on the supposed codependent. So anyway, Ross, what's his name? Ross somebody. I want to say Ross. I can't remember what his name is, but he's the Rosenberg, Ross Rosenberg. Anyway, I don't know. Rosen. Link below. He ranted yesterday about it. He goes, I don't know why these people keep calling. He's like, I freaking can't stand this term, codependent. Well, me neither. Well, for one, the term, and I made a video about it the other couple days back, but I deleted it because I felt like I said too many personal things, and my kids would be like, if they were something, I'm going to put all our information out there, Mom. Well, look, sorry, I'm not using your names, and like my kids are very they're pro rah rah, people recovering from their abuse and telling their story until it's me. I'm not allowed to do that because it would shatter the narrative. Might make them uncomfortable around the narcissist. I don't know. I mean, I guess they love the narrative because then they don't have to change how they feel or see anything. They can just keep on plowing forward in life, and a mom's just a dumb bitch who will just do anything for us, and we love her, but we don't respect her. I mean, they don't say don't respect me, but they don't. I mean, they don't. If they did, they wouldn't do what they do to me. But I think in time they may gain a modicum of respect over time. Now that I've just stepped out of the narrative and I refuse to acknowledge it no matter what. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna like participate in a family event with these narcissists because I'm just not going to. Because the narrative is, I'm lucky to be there. Or, it was all in the past. Why are you so... It's not on... No, they like, why do you live in the past? Because the present is being... I'm not living in the past. I'm living in the present where what has been laid out as the narrative in the past is still present. See, they shame you into thinking that you're living in the past. No, I'm not. I'm living right now in this room where if you all come together for a wedding or whatever, like we're supposed... Like I'm gonna be like I should consider myself lucky to be there. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That's how I feel about that. But anyway, yeah. So what was my point? Ross was like, no, I wrote a book. He's like, I wrote a book called The Human Magnet, and I coined the term, which I believe he believes is more accurate, and everybody in the codependent supposed camp was like, that's it, that's us. Self-love deficit. Self-love deficiency. And the interesting thing about that is that when you go to a church, they will insist that the reason Jesus died is because you love yourself more than everybody else. And it's just this whole thing of self-love, like no man ever hated his flesh but nurtured it and blah, blah, blah. Oh, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that, Bible? Because especially when I met my biological parents, I began to detest my own body, my DNA down to the cellular level because of how fucked up these people were. Evil. I felt like I was made of evil atoms or whatever, genetic material from them. They're so evil. That was hard. That was very hard. No, I was not suffering from an extreme amount of self-love, church. And man, they love to abuse these people. The churches are like, oh, you're just so... And I listen to the Christian radio. If you have problems with extreme depression, if you have like long-term... The problem is you just love yourself too much. Because you don't help people enough. Focus on other people, and then you won't have time to be depressed. I became so angry at one point in my Christian walk after listening to this radio bullshit about how I'm like thinking... I've barely looked in the mirror for 3 years. I'm lucky to get through the shower in a day, but yet the church's teachings or the Christian radio is that I'm so self-centered. Oh my God, that's why I'm so depressed, because I'm just so fake and so shallow. I don't care about anybody else. And it's just like the more, and you're sitting there listening to this shit thinking, yeah, it's true. I need to try harder. I need to help this person over here. What? Again. No. My kids told me, for your body, keep helping all these people, Mom. Because they appreciate it. I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing. When are you helping us? I am helping you kids, but when they started being really, really rude to me and really like didn't give a fuck, I stopped catering to their every teeny tiny little whim because I wasn't getting the feedback that I needed to feel like I was worth the breath in my lungs. Now, that wasn't right, but it wasn't because I was so arrogant. You know what I'm saying? It's so ridiculous. Anyway, no, they never went without. They never went without. It's not like I just dropped them off and told them to sit outside and bare feet and everything. It wasn't that. It was that I stopped being their personal assistant in every single solitary little worry. And then they're just like, oh, Mom keeps helping all these other people instead of us. Like, no, I'm helping you plenty. And I'm helping them too. Because I thought it was the Christian thing to do, which it wasn't. I was casting pearls before swine, but I didn't know that at the time. Because I was convinced that I was the swine and that everybody else was a child of God and that I should be serving them. I mean, it's just that simple. It's not hard to understand, for me anyway, but for everybody else it is. And I think it really boiled down to my adoption. And I know that it could have easily had nothing to do with it, but because I know plenty of birth children in normal, regular families that are birthed into the family and raised by their natural parents have the same exact experience that I have had. But I can honestly say that one thing different about me is that I do not know where I was for months at a time after I was born until I showed up in family photos at about approximately 9 months of age. When I was sitting up in a photo was the first photo I saw of myself. So I don't know where I was for about 9 months. This could have a lot to do with what's going on upstairs or whatever, as far as not having had the emotional connection. They call it, like, these kids go through what they call attachment disorder. I don't think I had that so largely that it was noticeable. So I think I must have had it to a degree. But I think that I had, once my parents got a hold of me, I think there was affection that was given to me up until a certain point. Then it was withdrawn, and that's when I went seeking it and like starving for it. It's like I read or watched videos about it before, about how they create this type of person like I was, the servant, the servant to mankind, and have no self-respect or anything, is raising a baby with lots of love and affection, because little babies are so enjoyable up until about the age 18 months when they start resisting and showing their own personhood, and then they're rejected. And then for the rest of their childhood and lives, we're constantly seeking that normal, unconditional love that a parent's supposed to give you, or near unconditional. Children should get unconditional love, but once you reach a certain age, there must be conditions. You must not be able to treat your parents any way you want to and get unconditional love showered upon you in the form of action. I mean, I feel unconditional love for my kids, but I won't act on those feelings if I'm receiving certain treatment from them. You get what I mean? So I just watched is it Rosenberg? I don't know. Link below, link in the description. Link in the thing in the comment section. I'll put it there. About his rant about saying no. It's codependency is the word itself is so hard to understand. It doesn't really define what the situation is, he said, but I defined it, and I'm right. I'm thinking the more he talks, the more he sounds like a narcissist. Like, I coined this term. I'm like, you go, Ross, you go, man. But anyway, he said that he was himself codependent or self-love deficient. He said most therapists are. That's why they're in the field. Duh. Think about it. They're trying to serve everyone, trying to help everyone, because they, too, have self-love deficit. And it's interesting. I see some comments. Actually, I see them often. Comments saying, I was a therapist until I healed. I was a therapist until I, got over this. And so, but God bless their hearts, man. God bless the real, truly heartfelt therapists that are really, really trying to help people. And I feel for the ones and their clients where they don't quite understand what they're experiencing and just think it's a matter of weakness. We just got to be stronger. Well, really, the fact is we're super strong. It's just that we're misinformed.